Good evening. How are we all? Welcome to the Opie-verse Ep.VII, I believe. Yes, Ep.VII. I am, of course, your one, the only Opie one. At this point, I would usually introduce my co-host in Brixton, but I actually don't know where he is. He was with us a couple of minutes ago. He went off to fix his internet. Good job that he went to try and do it before the stream started this time instead of 10 minutes into it like he usually does, but he hasn't come back. So I'm guessing he hasn't fixed it yet. So I don't know where he is. But good evening to you all. I can see you all dropping in. Alien ESP, hello. Hey, Will, how's it going? What's this? What we got to with more Opie-verse episodes than Star Wars movies? That is true. That is true. But there are no limits. There are no limits. And if you didn't know, I've started dropping, well, I'm starting to make some YouTube exclusive videos as well. So I've done a kind of an introduction video and go through that. Oh, there he's there. Angry Rolo. Like you need an introduction or a shout out, Rolo. But yeah, Brixton's not back with us. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute and he'll just let himself in. But whilst we wait for him to come back, I will introduce this evening's guest. You may know her as Olivia. You may know her as LEGOlassncl. You may know her from our brick link store, LassNCL. You might not know her at all, but you will do in the next hour or so. So introducing tonight, my fellow Northeasterner, and Olivia, when I was thinking about this, we could have done this in person, but next time we certainly will, because there will be a next time. But good evening, Olivia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's Sunday night. The Opie-verse is in flow. I've had a McDonald's. I haven't had a McDonald's in a while. So I won 6 chicken nuggets.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
a
bonus.
good thing.
That's a good thing.
It is. So
you can't not love Monopoly McDonald's.
Yeah, they do well out of it, didn't they? Do you know the worst thing is? I haven't had one in ages because I've been training and stuff. And I thought they've been advertising that like spicy chicken sandwich, and I love like a Zinger Tower burger is my go-to at KFC. And I was like, I need to try that before it goes. So I went down thinking spicy chicken, Monopoly, and they didn't. It's gone. It's gone. So I just
I'm a wuss when it comes to spice. Like I'm absolute wuss. I can't order half the things on an Indian's.
What's your Nando's sauce then?
Oh, here's another confession. I don't like Nando's.
What?
Yeah, I get a butterfly chicken in plain, and that's it. And I've not had one of them in over 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you know? I love a Nando's, but I get like people say like it's overrated or it's overpriced, and I do get it. It's got a fond place in my heart and probably like in my cholesterol. But have you seen in the? I don't know what the last time you were in the Metro Centre, but I was there last week, and there's like a new chicken place opened.
Oh, I saw that. I heard of it. Yeah.
Next door to Five Guys. So
that's another overpriced place, isn't it? Five Guys.
Yeah, again though, like
it's lovely. Don't get us wrong, but I will have to remortgage before I've even got a mortgage.
Yeah, it's do you know they get you because you think, oh well, we'll share a chips. Like if I go with the missus or with the mate, like we'll share a chips, and you're like, it's all good. But then it's like 30 quid for and then But guys, I don't know where Brixton is, but we'll kind of make a start anyway. But before we get into it, as always, you know, we have a kind of more adult and mature conversation that can include a bit of swearing from time to time. We try to curb it, but sometimes it just needs to be done. Just general adult themes and references, sometimes with the consumption of alcohol. But you know what? I just haven't prepared myself a drink tonight, so I've only got water. What about you, Olivia?
I've got a trusty Lucozade. I practically live off the stuff.
Good shout. I love an orange Lucozade. So yeah, but we'll make a start. He can come in whenever he comes in, but you know, whenever that is. So how's it going? How is Lego? How's TikTok? How is Bricklink going?
It's all pretty successful. Like, I'll be honest, I set myself a
Successful.
goal. Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. I didn't ever think when I started that I would be here 4 months down the line and where I'm at. It is crazy. Like, I'll try and get it. I should have been more prepared. It's always me who's never prepared. But I said, because I'm an absolute task person, I write
My
myself little
sincerest
lists.
apologies. Hello.
Oh, he's back.
There he is.
Sorry, that's the internet for you again.
Bless you, man. Bless you. Just saying how I'm a to-do list freak, practically. So
what's
in
on
my
your list?
my first 6 months of Bricklink. So from November the 6th is when I got me Bricklink.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted 30 plus orders, 700 lots in me store, £300 in sales, and I've smashed that out the window in the first month. Like, I did not think that it would ever. It's peaked for me. I think it's peaked anyways. Hopefully not.
It's a funny one, Bricklink, because it feels like kind of this year every man and his dog has set up a Bricklink account. People have got them who probably shouldn't have. You know who you are, and it works very well with TikTok as well. The whole packaging orders, and people buy, like Reese kind of had that nailed. Epic Bricks does it very well. So it kind of creates that never-ending loop of kind of Bricklink orders feed content, the content drives more orders, and it's just that perfect cycle. But for you, if you see in then November, when did you then take the leap into TikTok? And
it was a little shortly after that, I want to say. Oh wait, no, November the 6th is the 6 months up, sorry. So take 6 months off that. My bad. I can't do dates quick in my head apparently. But so yeah, 6 months after that, and then it must have been like a month after I started my TikTok, and I wouldn't even speak for the first bit of it. Like, if you scroll back all the way, I wouldn't speak. It would all just be that text to speech. Because I was just so nervous. Because I am a rambler. I honestly, I was talking to Brixton about it. I do think I'm more of a rambler than Rolo. Like,
don't say that, because he was just here, and he did say that he might not be able to make it. Is he still here?
He probably is.
That is a challenge.
But yeah, like, so shortly after I started my TikTok, and my first order was because of TikTok. So that was absolutely amazing. And they do just work hand in hand. It drives sales, it increases exposure. Like, it's everything that I wanted it to do. But at the same time, I've found this like Lego community, and I've found my love for collecting again, which I kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been an absolute bonus having it, to be fair. Nice. Absolute bonus.
So when you've seen you've smashed your goals already?
Yeah.
Have you reset your goals? Have you set new goals? Or
I haven't done yet. I think I'm gonna have to sit down. I try to write like my September goals for like even my personal life. Not, like I said, I'm a to-do list freak. So I probably want about 30 sales this month. I mean, I've already had 5 today, but yesterday was a dry day and things like that. It all just depends, really.
Yeah, and that, I suppose that's the problem, isn't it? And see, even like the great Epic Bricks talks about it. Reese, we saw towards the end, is like it takes a lot for Bricklink to line your pockets. For like, I don't know how many people actually out there make a living from it and make a serious income.
Yeah.
So with that, you're working another job, and which then takes up a lot of your time, regardless of what that job is and whatever any of us do, it takes up a lot of that time, which then means you come home and you're like, oh, I've got orders, and okay, I'll pack the orders, but then am I going to kind of make it? So I imagine from a motivation standpoint, you've just got more obstacles in your way to think, let's do this.
It is absolutely tricky. Like, there's some days where I'm like, I've not uploaded anything to me Bricklink today, or there's other days where I literally just sit down and part things out. Like, it's a video sitting in my draft still. My girlfriend parted out the Everyone is Awesome set that I've had sitting since ages ago. It's it's just finding, again, that motivation, as well as, sorry, go on.
No,
You look like you were going to say something.
No, I was just adjusting.
Bless you. Getting comfy.
Yeah.
But it's that juggle as well, because at the end of the day, I do have a personal life, and some things fall back, and it's really hard to keep on top of everything and still push that TikTok. I've tried to get it to 2 videos a day just to get myself back on the algorithm, because I've absolutely plummeted in views. I'm losing followers, and I'm like, oh, what did I do to annoy you, sort of thing.
People are cutthroat, and TikTok's cutthroat as well. Like, if anybody's inactive, they're just like, poof, gone.
Yeah,
and within the Lego, the amount of times you hear people coming back and saying, oh, this is my new account, I got banned, and obviously you've lost their old account, but they may not have found their way back to you on the new one, and the algorithms are killer at the minute. I don't know what it is, but people are saying it takes like 5 to 7 days now for your video to really hit. That's when it peaks. And you're like, that's kind of that's against the whole point of TikTok. Like, that's Reels. Reels does that. And like, that's why with Reels, I just hit send, like post something, and I just forget about it. Then all of a sudden I'm like, why am I getting likes for a video I posted a week ago? And then all of a sudden, like, Reels is hitting like 100,000 views. And I'm like, that's why. But yeah, it sucks at the minute. But it's to drive the grind, though. That's all it is to drive you to do and deliver more. But it sucks.
It's the thing is, I'm pretty much an insomniac. Like, some days I can zonk out of sleep. Some days you see is like working at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, there is absolutely no in between for my sleeping schedule. It's why I look rough all the time, practically, is what I tell people. But
we're not confirming or denying that, Olivia.
You don't have to. I know.
I will see from like a personal perspective, and I was actually I was in his live this morning, and in the comments in Jamie's, the brick educator, and he was asking kind of how close we are together, because like to him, probably to Brixton and the vast majority of people here, you and I sound the same, but to each other,
the accent,
we're like 100 miles apart. But he was saying, I've totally lost my trail of thought there, but yeah, he was that's it. He was saying, and I totally agree with this, that like you've just got a great like speaking voice, like, because you've just got like you're like the happy northeasterner, and you're just really happy on your videos. But I loved it when you were doing like your 1 a.m. packaging videos. So you were trying to be really quiet, but you were being really positive, and they were just really soothing. They were like meditation videos, just like you packaging orders. And I think, I know you did it by accident, but I think there's definitely something in that, and just do more of that, because you just got to, even when you do your, and it's good that the CMFs are back, because I saw you completed your LinkedIn, but doing those videos, they always seem to do well for you. So
yeah, well, funnily enough, you should say that. My brother texted us the other day, and I popped up on his For You page, and he knew nothing about it. None of the family do, until it all got obviously leaked over the family group chat. And he was like, you should start a Lego ASMR page on YouTube, and you would make millions and millions. So I was like, oh no.
I've seen them on Twitch. When I had my brief spell on Twitch, they would just be girls sat there, and because nobody wants to hear like men do ASMR, but they would, and like the ends they would go to, because obviously Twitch, they have to be careful.
Yeah,
you can't kind of go too far, but they had things like, it's like a dual microphone, and then each microphone was set in mono, so one would be kind of the left speaker and the other would be the right, and they would kind of like move around it as if they were talking into your ears. And
that's crazy.
People, tens of thousands of people just sat there watching it. I'm like, and I'm over here playing Warzone or like Battlefront 2 with like 5 guys in there, like, hey mate, how's it going? There's definitely something in it though, like Lego ASMR. He's onto something.
It's like white noise though, isn't it? It helps people get to sleep, certain white noise. So if you've got us on replay, I'm more than happy for my views to keep going. Like, I'm not going to win.
Absolutely.
not
Just
winching
hitting
at
the
that.
likes, get the comments in, 100%.
Definitely.
But
Promote.
yes. No, not promote. Not. Are you
Push.
talking about promote as in the button promote, where you pay for views?
Oh
You mean
God,
that
I
one?
didn't even know that was a thing. What's that?
Oh yeah. So like TikTok do that now, where you can pay for views. So definitely don't do that.
Crazy. That is
That's
crazy. I thought that
that's the
defeated the whole
scam.
point of it.
Well, TikTok needs money, so that's how they pay
Yeah.
for the creator fund, and that's why they skim off. Like when we all do lives and people donate or we donate, they just skim off the top. You know,
Crazy.
you as a creator probably only get about 40% of what's donated to you. They keep the rest. So yeah,
Crazy.
it's
See, I've not
but
hit that live stream point. I'm not at that 1,000 followers yet, so I don't know these things.
we need to get you guys. If you Olivia's links are actually in the description below. Whether it's now or later, just go and follow our TikTok. We need her 1,000 because we'll get like 1 a.m. packaging videos and like just start doing lives and stuff. It'll be like when you just it'll be just be bliss. You know, if you're
Be
having a rough
bliss.
night, just you're having a rough night, get up, go make yourself a cup of hot chocolate, a nice winter's eve, your dressing gown and your slippers on, and just sit down, put Olivia on for 5 minutes doing our ASMR packaging videos, and then that's it. You realise, right, I'm off to bed.
I'm calm. I'm calm now.
But I think that's it, though. I think you've got that kind of level. You always seem to have that level of calmness, and even like through other videos as well. And you embrace things very well. Like I remember the whole. I thought you were a 13-year-old boy, and I can remember you showing your driver's license.
It's so funny.
I mean, that was hilarious. And then when you did your face reveal, and like the same, like as you can see, I'm not a 13-year-old boy. I was like,
oh, it's great. I love comments like that. I still get certain ones of them. It's absolutely fab. I thrive off hate, and I know that sounds so weird, but it motivates us. I don't get it so much now, but right at the start, they were like, "You're an epic bricks wannabe," and all the rest. I was like, "Oh, is that why he follows us?" So, is that why?
Yeah, it's like, isn't everyone like?
Pretty much, he is the god
You know
of
what I mean?
Lego
Like,
TikTok.
well, Ethan is higher. So Ethan the
Oh,
artisan, who's one of the stud buds, he's on like I think he's pushing 900k now. But Epic is definitely the king of like packaging videos and
Bricklink, yeah.
like the Lego Bricklink buying and selling. He's like, to my knowledge, absolutely has that. Then you have like Ethan's the king of like almost like the purity of Lego. Like he is not affiliated with any theme. He is just like
just any and
Mr.
everything.
Lego, yeah. Like I spent 5 minutes making this, and you're like, I couldn't build that. I couldn't build that in like a weekend with those parts, and he's brilliant at that. And then you've got Matt, who's like the Lego meme, like he's the king of that, and like the you know. So there are different. I suppose we all have different lanes, and some of us kind of cross over those lanes through our content. But yeah,
I try
like,
to dip my toe here and there.
But yeah, exactly. But aren't we all trying to like
Yeah.
at least replicate some of their like fantastic success? And in a way, aren't they paving the way for us to do that? Like it's kind of the whole point of TikTok. We all kind of put our spin on things. But well, yeah. What do you think, Brixton? You're awfully quiet.
Sorry, yes, I'm just I'm still reveling on the fact that my internet is just so utterly shit. I'm just watching the bars go up and down, so I don't want to speak and go. So all of a sudden, just stop like that. Yeah, I think definitely there's a lot of people who have Bricklink and TikTok, and so they coincide with each other very well. And then obviously there's some people who only do Bricklink, like we saw with Reese. You know, he was using his TikTok to sell stuff, whereas you know, Olivia, you tend to make content as well as just Bricklink stuff. So there's a nice balance to it. I think people who do Bricklink are absolutely amazing, especially like yourself if they have a full-time job, because it just means that, you know, as we were discussing before my internet decided to die out, you know, you come home from work and then you're going into a second job. And even if someone who doesn't do Bricklink, with TikTok, it's very much the same. You know, if you want to make a video, sometimes I'll message you or Liam and I'll say, I've just got home from work. I have absolutely no motivation to do anything whatsoever. And I'll just get into bed and go to sleep until like 8 p.m. In which case I'll wake up and I'll be like, I should probably film a video. But, I think it's amazing. I admire people's, motivation to keep going at it and keep posting videos constantly. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do, and I think in some ways as well, it's because it is like a job, and because you've got that commitment to people, like it can give you that extra energy to, or like kick up the arse that you need to think, well, it's not like it's a choice. I have to do this, because someone's bought something off me. But it's that thing as well as like, do you want that? Because that's the other decision. It's like you must sit there, Olivia, sometimes and think, why did I do this?
People don't realize how much work it actually is. Like, I honestly did not realize how much work it was. When I was like 13, there was a guy on YouTube who did it. I absolutely loved it. And I was like, as soon as I turn 18, I am getting a brick. Like, I am doing it. 2 years down the line, at 20, I finally got one. Just because I dropped off Lego that little bit.
Yeah.
Just whilst I was in sixth form, just cracking on with that. But I didn't realize how much work it was going to be. It is crazy. Like, the drawers, to number all your drawers, it took me a good half an hour. Like, I think I've just recorded a video actually, because I thought, you know what, we'll make it. See, I've not got a dynamo.
Need one of these. 25 quid's best decision ever.
But the question is, would I want? Then that's my thing. I'm like, is my time writing all that out worth 25 quid? Probably not. So I'll just buy a set for that and pot it out. Then it's worth more. Like,
so I agree with Joe here. I agree with Joe there as well. So I did this. And I did this because, actually, people might think that I did this because of Reese, because I always was very close with Reese. But it was because of you, Olivia,
right,
that I set up a Lego. It was whilst I was off kind of through May, June time, when I took that break. And I was like, right, when I come back, I'm going to come back hard. And I'm going to come back with a brickling store. And I think that's going to be a bigger part of it. And I started setting it up, and it was when you did the whole thing around the B&M dots selling for a quid. I was like, right, I'm going to start there. Picked up a few bits, and then I got to the validation process, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I just can't be asked. I give up. So, and then I sold you the dots.
Yeah. No, they're all in my store. My girlfriend sat and ported them out whilst I was at work one day. Big up to her if she's watching. But it takes so much time up. It's minifigures that as well, if they've got cracked arms, if they've got this, and then there's loads of different things. Gooey. Hi, Jake. Actually, Jake's ordered from me a couple of times. But it just takes forever. And there's some days where I'm like, I've got zero motivation. But then I look on my TikTok, I'm like, well, I've got 800 people who are expecting something from us. You have a lot more, to be fair. But I'm like, 800 people, if you shove 800 people in a room and I've got to stand in front of them, that's just nervous.
And I always say this, like, yes, I've got 52,000 followers, but I haven't got 52,000 engages by any means. And I actually don't know how many I have, and TikTok doesn't really tell you that, because I don't know how many of my 52,000 followers just haven't interacted or seen one of my videos for, let's say, like 3 months. And at that point, I would say they're not really a follower anymore. But it's all a bit vanity. It's kind of like, it's more about, and some people say, don't worry about the views, I do it for you and all that. And that is somewhat true. And it's all about kind of what you're motivated by. But in your case, Olivia, the way I would look at it, if I was in your shoes, you're there specifically to try and drive kind of business and sales and kind of create that loop. So you want your videos to be seen, because the more people that see it, the more you do it. So, like, in my opinion, I spend time making videos. I want them to be seen. Like, there's nothing worse than like that. I enjoy the process, but I kind of want them. I'm not bothered about people particularly liking them or not, but I just want them to be seen, But I obviously am a narcissist anyway, so like that's what it is. But yeah, it's a strange one. With Bricklink, you talk about the kind of the struggle of parting out sets and then packaging orders and stuff, especially alongside another job. But going all the way back to when you set it up, what was like the biggest challenge there? Pretty much from like not just like the authentication side, but like the terms and conditions, and then where you ship to. Like what was like? Were you ever bitten by anything, and what was kind of the real troubles that nobody ever talks about?
I constantly get bitten, if I'm honest. I still do get bitten. So right at the start, I'll throw my hands in the air. I copied Reese's terms and conditions. I honestly did. It
Oh
would.
my god, I feel like he's the worst person in the world. Conditions
So
to check.
I copied them, changed them here and there. I thought, if you've just got to keep it brief, because no one wants to sit and read and read and read.
Yeah.
And it ends up that if you go, because I've seen some Bricklink stores that say if you buy over 20 lots, there's £1 fee added on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's just discouraging people from buying, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've put mine at a minimum spend of 50 pence just because it's not worth my time or my effort pulling and uploading. Because I've had some orders literally just for one piece, and then that's it. Don't get us wrong, I love every single order, but I'm just like, did you come to my store just for that one piece? Like, come on, there's something else you must want, surely.
Yeah,
Like,
and we've talked about this. Like, what's the point? Like, you're paying more in postage than you are
shipping,
for the
yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah,
I reckon
It's
you
crazy.
should set the minimum price to be like 70p or whatever it is a first class stamp costs, because those buggers are expensive, aren't they?
They honestly are. I end up buying. I've got my little tub here of everything that I need in life, but I end up buying them from Costco for first class large, and they're much cheaper than buying them at the post office. I recommend it to everyone because the more things you can bulk buy, the cheaper they are. It's just economies of scale, really. To throw out a couple of business terms, but it's shipping. I have been slammed on in the past, but it's if so. Let's just pick this zombie bride.
just international shipping or UK as well?
No, UK as well. I've been stumped on because this would go as a large letter, but that going like that way, not width way, that would go as a small parcel. So I've ended up having to pay £3.75 for a small parcel when I've only charged them at the start. I charged £2 for shipping. So I ended up, and for an order that was 70 pence, I was losing money on every order. So I had to try and swindle it and change it. So some days I just take the cut.
How does Bricklink know? Because like when I go on an order, it will kind of at some point it'll default and say, right, okay, it's now a small parcel or something, or is that just what the seller's set up, or is there a way that it knows what's in the bag and it knows what's then needed?
It should. It honestly should, and it stumps me and it angers me because I've had like 300 items and it's went as a large letter, whereas I've had 20 items that then changed it to a small parcel. I've had it done for the weight of items, I've had it done for the size of items, but nothing seems to work. So it got to the point where I was sitting there thinking one night, do I just put invoice only and not instant checkout just to make sure I don't get stumped? But I thought I want to make it easy for people to buy for us. And if I have to take just a little bit of a cut just to make a happy customer and a positive feedback, I'll do that any day.
Yeah.
Because it is a thing on the side. It is a side hustle. I do absolutely love it. It's so therapeutic watching things leave your store and watching drawers empty up. It might just be a me weird thing, but like I love realizing I've got more space and then more time to buy things. Like,
and you know, with my experience of working in like the business world and business banking and all that, and just being a consumer as well, like that slickness of transaction is exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse than when I haven't realized it's an invoiced account, and then you're like, and then you've got to wait for them to get back to you, and then you're like, but then if you've got plans, and then they get back to you, they're like, oh, well, you've got to get back to me and pay this within a certain period of time and all that. And you're like, come on, it's awful. But understanding that, it kind of makes sense. So I understand why people do it. It's to kind of cover their own arse, basically. But yeah, it's Bricklink, Lego. It's all Lego. But have you had any negative feedback? Because Reese had a couple and he really took it hard. So you're 100%.
I am 100%, and I'm gonna keep
Nice.
it that way.
Good.
Like Reese, it is my baby. It honestly is. It's like my little mini portfolio. I wanted to own my own business as a kid. I didn't really have that option, but this has given us that sort of option, and I absolutely love it. I've got to put a business head on us. I'm money orientated a bit like Reese. No, I love it. I honestly do. It's really good.
How do you think Bricklink could be better for both buyers and sellers?
Sellers, I've got to say, the verification puts a lot of people off, and I get why they do it to protect their own back. But I ended up having to send a photo of my driving license and a photo of my passport and a photo of my national insurance number, as well as a photo of me carrying all the Lego I was wanting to sell. I was like, I'll be honest, I'm not of a generation where I buy a newspaper, so I wasn't going to have that as my issue. So, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not of that generation.
As long as you didn't buy like the Sun or something, I think we'll all be good.
Like, honestly, I wish I still had the photo to show you. I'm looking dead chuffed carrying me box, just smiling. Because I thought if anyone sees this, they need to really see that I'm happy.
Absolutely. The one thing I thought, and I didn't think this, I considered a little bit, but I didn't think it more until I started looking at becoming a seller and if I wanted to go down that route. And again, it was something that you kind of turned me on to, is how you can load a set number in and then it'll show you like the market average to part it out. But like using that on your phone when you're in store, it's a brutal system. Like, and then you start thinking, why have they not got an app? Why, like, it's Lego. Yeah. Why is Bricklink not, like, everything's got an app now? And to have an app that's kind of built for mobile, and especially even if it was just a Bricklink seller app that you could just then tap into, like, that would be.
It's like Amazon FBA, all that. They've got a specific app that you can just scan things in and it'll show you the sales, the average over the last 6 months, things like that. It would be amazing. I'm sitting there in store sometimes and my girlfriend's getting really irate. I'm like, no, this is a good deal. Just you wait. Let us get some signal. And it's so bad. It is so bad. But it's once you sometimes see that part out, and I can't remember who I was showing the other day, but so for the Everyone is Awesome set, for the current sales, if you just sell the minifigures as they are, the whole set parts out for £96 at the moment. If you sell the individual pieces and just split the minifigure up, it sells for 105 because people just want them individual pieces instead of all of them. So I could be sitting on stock for months without it shifting, but it's making that more flexibility, and it's more of what people want. So it's like getting Star Wars on my store. Like, everyone's like, do you do Star Wars? I'm like, I do, I promise, but it is so hard to stock. Not only because I've got you, Opie, around like on my Facebook bloody marketplace, so as soon as a good deal comes in, I'm sure you snap it up or Raven snaps it up because we're all from around here. So it gets gone like that.
I haven't bought anything on Facebook Marketplace in ages.
Well, so do you know what? That gives me hope.
What I've noticed about Facebook Marketplace though is that, like, you'll send me a link to something on like Lego and I'll be like, I've already seen it, because the Lego Facebook Marketplace, it's like the whole of the UK. So we're all seeing the same items.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, where we talk now about Bricklink, a lot of people have kind of jumped on the same thing in different. So a lot of people sell Lego through Facebook Marketplace and using PayPal, like goods and services, and they're happy to ship it, same as eBay. So I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. But then there's kind of the casual mother who's selling off their kind of child's collection, but they've got wind that like Lego's worth something now, but they don't know how much. And they're like, yeah, 400 quid. And you're like, that's not worth 400 quid. No, well, I want 400 quid. And you're like, well, when you're ready not to take 400 quid, give us a shout. And then they'll come back to you like a month later. Like, oh, well, you know, I'm open to offers. You're like, too late. I've got it. I've got what I need.
It's mint. Like sometimes I go out and buy deals and they're like, well, I don't know if I've got any more. I was like, well, here's my number. Before you even list it, just give us a phone call.
I'm
Like,
sure.
yeah, got a network. It's all about networking. It's not what you know to, you know.
Indeed. Have you not set up one of those posts where it's as if you're selling Lego, but you're saying you're a Lego buyer, so people can message you?
I honestly won't, because it tends to just, you get the people who know what their collection's worth then.
Mhm.
And it's like, I mean, I inquired about, I don't know if you've seen it, if it hit your marketplace or not, but there's a Simpsons house brand new in box and a Quickie Mart, and I really want the Quickie Mart. Message Dash wants 350 for that Quickie Mart,
Right.
brand new in box. I'm like, I really want it, but I also want a house. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
But
say
that's
no.
probably, I mean, that's probably what its market value is, isn't it? But like,
Yeah,
it's
I just
so
want something
tough
cheaper.
to, yeah. And it'll come, won't it? It'll at some point at just the right day, the right time.
Yeah,
Realistically as well, it could be next year. Like, people are starting to move away from Lego, and I don't know about you two, but I'm seeing loads more, even like current sets on Facebook Marketplace now, because everybody's kind of like, the novelties wore off. Everybody's going back to work. They're going on holiday. They need some money. They need some space. So they're like, I'll kind of get rid of me Lego before the value drops. But I'm starting to see actually prices are coming down as well with it. So
yeah,
that's kind of good. But yeah, I just think for something like that, you bide your time, don't you? And let it
yeah.
get back to the kind of the hardcore collectors rather than kind of the casual ones who've kind of been and come and done it and drove the prices up. But yeah.
What are
Do
your
you?
guys' thoughts on, obviously, so all the TikTokers in America, the Lego collectors, they have sort of not thrift shops, but they have stores like all the what we would call charity shops.
Mhm.
Have you guys had a look in charity shops to see if there's any Lego? Because they're not as big as they are in America, are they? Sort of small, kind of, you know, they don't have much.
I have. To be honest, even Lego, even charity shops now kind of know, but they don't know. Like, they know it's worth something, but they don't know specifically to that set. So everything's like charged through the roof. But you can't really haggle with a charity shop, can you? Because it's charity, so it's a bit morally wrong.
True,
But
yeah.
but again, you're a bit like just let you know, like, I know about this stuff. If you probably won't sell that for that amount, this is kind of what I think you should be selling it at. But yeah, but then like little Doris behind the tail's like, like, so yeah.
That was pretty accurate, to be fair. That was pretty
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah. But yeah, that's my take on it. I don't know about you, Olivia.
I can't say I ever have. I used to do eBay reselling before I got into all this. And I would just do that. I would do loads of video games, so I would end up just selling loads of Xbox games, things like that. I've ended up bagging myself 4 Game Boys that I've got just stuffed in my wardrobe, PlayStation 2s, PlayStation 1s. I've got a SNES in there. I've got the N64. Like, I absolutely loved it, but I just didn't have the time. Me and Raven Bricks talked about this a little bit, about having a photograph and then list, because eBay's a chew on.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably, so I pick up this little guy all the time, but he's selling for $6.99 on Bricklink, but I can get $8.99 on eBay, but I just don't have the time to sit and photograph and do all that. Don't get us wrong, I happily would. It's like sourcing. I work, so I'm not always on my phone, so when I miss out on a deal, I'm like, is this available?
Yeah.
I can pick it up tonight. And they're like, no, it's already gone. It does make us very happy when they then text us back saying, oh, they didn't turn up. I'm like, oh, what an idiot. This is amazing. Why didn't you turn up? I've scored mint deals that way. Probably ones that I wouldn't have got otherwise. But
Yeah, I got that Captain Rex's ATTE. Was it back beginning of this year? And she listed it for, was it like, it was sealed in box, and I think I paid 30 quid for it. And they're like 15 minutes it took us from messaging her to getting there. She'd been swamped. Like I messaged her like 6 minutes after she'd posted it, and I was like, and I just got there, got the cash out, and she was like, "Oh
No
yeah,"
hesitation.
like, she was like, "You've getting a good deal there, haven't you?" I was like, "Yep, there you go, thank you." And she's like, "Yeah, a load of people's messages." I was like, "Have there?" Like as I'm walking down our garden path, like, "Yeah, bye, thank you." But yeah, it's yeah, people are brutal. I mean, surely they were. I'm sure she was saying like people were bidding her up and all sorts, but she was like, "No, I've committed to."
I have a love-hate relationship with Marketplace for that one reason. I agreed on a bunch of Star Wars figures for £30 with this guy, and I was prepared to drive to Sunderland, and that's a bit of a drive for me.
I thought you were going to say something else, Olivia.
No,
So you're going to make a comment about like.
Absolutely not. I would never do such a thing. I would never do such a thing.
Good.
And so I started driving. I got the Tyne Tunnel, and he went, "I've had other offers, and I now want 50." And I went, "Well, you're more than happy to take the other offer, but I am 10 minutes away from your house. So are you sticking with the 30, or do I have to do a U-turn and leave you bad feedback for wasting me petrol? Because we already agreed on the deal." And he was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Yeah, at last minute, don't try and bid us up, because I'm not a fool. I'll happily drive back. It's not my money wasted. I'll go for a drive. I don't care."
Do you know that's like a good rule of business and stuff? It's you don't make money when you sell, because the price at selling is defined by the market. Like you can't sell something for more than what people are willing to pay for it, and it's very difficult. And I know Reese had some thoughts about how you can manipulate that market, and I do agree with that in the Lego world, but it takes time to do that. But you really make your money when you buy. So like there, if you've gone up to 50, your margin, all you're doing is kind of narrowing your margin to the point where there may no longer be one, because you can't incrementally hike those prices up because nobody's willing to pay them. So yeah, that's like for me is like the biggest thing is to anyone, regardless, especially if you're buying and selling secondhand things, you make your money when you buy. You have to get the kind of things in cheap, because when you can do that and you know what they're worth, that then gives you kind of the edge as such in that sense.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Reese selling all them, do you know the 501sts, the 2 builds? He messed me there. He messed me there because I bought a bunch of 501sts. I'm like, these part outs are really good. Then suddenly everyone got them and parted them out. I thought, all my prices have just dropped dramatically. So he had us there like.
I don't know if I haven't seen him on here, but I know he's in Taiwan watching. But he'd be dining on the best of Taiwan's Just Eat options because of those 501st packs.
I don't doubt
he was literally selling them. I think he was like an hour before he was going to the airport, and he was like, "I've got 5 more left. Come on." Honestly, he should be on the shopping channel one day. Him.
Mint.
But yeah, fair play to him, and I can't wait to see how he's getting on out there. But can't wait to get him back as well, especially if he comes back into this world. But
it's that next little vlog that over there on his different channel that I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I saw that he was in. Has he posted since? Because he did the one where he went to the airport and was turned around because his flight had been cancelled and nobody had told him. Then I think I saw his Instagram story of him in Istanbul airport. So he got at least to Istanbul.
Yeah.
But has he done anything to say like, I'm in Taiwan?
I think he has, and I think he showed around his hotel room. I might have completely made that up, but I've got visions of him in his hotel room, so sorry, Reese. I've probably pulled that out of nowhere.
And do you know, now you see it, I think that's right, because he was talking about taking his PlayStation with him and just like living off his PlayStation and that.
He brought his girlfriend sig fig, didn't he?
Oh, bless him.
That was dead cute. That was cute.
Bless him. But yeah, he's bless him. But Bricklink, is that your platform? Do you see yourself doing stuff on eBay or Facebook, or is it just like Bricklink for the experience?
I do love Bricklink. There is an ease to it. It's when you part with a set, all the pieces are there. I just stick my remarks in. I occasionally change the price on a certain things because some of them just don't match up. And when I'm sitting listing bulky used, I'll put it on for like a penny, but I've already got it in my stock for 5p. I'm like, well, no wonder it didn't sell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why it automatically does that, because I'll throw my hands in the air. I want to be that person who undercuts everyone. So I always want to be the cheapest. And when I'm one of the highest, I'm like, what am I doing? Reevaluate your life, Olivia. You're like, you want to be the cheap, because I understand the struggles of Lego being so expensive. I honestly do. And I remember when Series 1 minifigures came out and they were £1.50 each. And when I got back into it last year and they were £2.99 each, I went, what the hell happened? And now they're up to £3.50. I'm like, Jesus Christ, someone needs to make Lego a bit more affordable. It is licensing,
back then,
isn't it?
they were there, the Lego own ones, their own creations. But when they're paying Marvel, they're paying Disney,
Yeah.
they're paying Looney Tunes. Hopefully one day we'll get a Star Wars run.
I don't know. I think they're making too much money out of the sets, even because people are specifically buying the sets to get the figures now, aren't they? So
they are, but at the same time, it would be money.
It would.
I went in. I mean, the Marvel ones, they're absolute money. Like, we've got Star Wars Visions coming up, which is a new animated series. It's not canon, but it plays around with some characters. That would be the perfect thing to build a CMF on, because you don't have to go full on into the sets, but you can just bring some of the characters to life, and it's a bit of an exclusive series. So that would have been ideal. But yeah, I see it all the time, but Lego just don't like Star Wars anymore. I don't think they do.
I think they like the money that comes with it, probably. But
yeah, 100%. That's what it is. Like,
absolutely.
It's still their biggest seller, but they're bored of it. But they know it saved them. Oh, look at that, Joe.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I'll package out tonight, actually.
Get packaging now.
I would happily, for you. I would.
You have to do a full ASMR talking as you do it, though. That's
okay.
The thing.
I'll be super quiet talking.
Now, everybody's got that video to look forward to Joe's packaging video. But yeah, it's a funny one. Right, I want to loop to something else. You've touched on this a couple of times. The controversy of your video with the Everything is Awesome set. It kind of made you in a way, because you got a lot of followers off it. But
I did.
Like,
oh my god!
And this then comes back to the whole thing around, like, because Brixton, you had and built Everything is Awesome too, didn't you? Did you build it on live?
Yes.
Did you? I mean, did you? Because like Olivia just got absolute flack for it.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. I built it live, and I had so basically my lives, I normally get about 10 to 12 people at any one time. This live, for the whole live, I had about 100, 150 people. And to be fair, it wasn't necessarily hate, but there was a lot of controversy. And as you guys may know, when I do my lives, I don't have many moderators. I've got like one or two to come in here and there, but I don't bother with it at the end of the day. Not enough people see my live, so I don't really care. But yeah, this one, I was building it and I was having an absolute blast. Bearing in mind, this was midsummer. It was bloody boiling in my room. I was melting down, literally. And I was just building this, listening to music, having a proper vibe. And I had like 100 people in the group, in the stream. And I was like, well, where have all of you bloody come from? Because where are you normally? But yeah, it was just crazy. And I've got it up there. I love the set. It's a great set. I'll probably buy another one because it's just so cool. But yeah, I was like, have you really joined my live and boost my life? Because when you join, it boosts.
Yeah.
people to just give me nonsense. But
Yeah. Was that pretty much your experience, Olivia?
It made me chuckle. I'll be completely honest. First of all, my girlfriend didn't even want to be in it, bless her heart and soul. I was like, no, we're going to build this set together. It's encompassing what the actual set is. Because she's not a massive fan of Lego, but she'll do some work for us here and there, bless her.
I feel like you see that, but like that was probably true 6 months ago. But like she's the one that parts all your sets out. She's the one that's like...
She deserves so much more credit. I'll be honest. She bless her. We had a £400, not £400, I bloody wish, 400 item order the other day, and she was sitting counting out 97 1x4 red bricks, and she was having a meltdown because she was getting different numbers each time. And she's like, I've got 99, I've got 102, and I was like, just move away from it and I'll count it in a minute. But I was counting like 87 2x2 reds, and I was like, oh god. But no, for the everyone is awesome. Like, people got so pressed about it, and it made me chuckle. Some of the comments, like this, I had one, this is a bit gay in it. I went, aye, that's the idea. I was like, oh my god, I'm an openly gay woman. And I was like, do I need to go back in the closet? Like, Jesus Christ, the amount of hate.
Secondary like I said, school, innit?
She was like, stop replying to comments. It's up to like 500 comments now just because my replies.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It's one of my most viewed videos. But it was like, I don't think this is right. I went, well, I don't think Lego take your views into consideration, mate, if I'm honest. Like, they'll release what makes them money at the end of the day. Yeah. They don't care about you.
Yeah. And they are a pretty wholesome company.
Yeah,
so,
they did it for the right reasons.
We'll get behind it and support it. And I think that's the thing, is like people think like, do you know what? If you don't support it, that's fine. Like, if you don't support it, but like, just don't buy the set. You don't have to buy the. It's not like you go in and you're like, can I have the UCS Falcon? And they're like, you've got to buy this first. Like, you can only buy that if you buy this. Sorry, like, people just don't get that, and like but that's so like true, and you'll know that more than me. But it's one of them weird observations that like, yeah, just people are like
so funny, because I'll be honest, I bet half of them are probably young kids, and I'm talking like 12, 10-year-olds, and it's openly taught in schools nowadays. So if they just think they're a keyboard warrior, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they can send a little bit of hate and all the rest. Fair, throw it at me for a person who's not affected by it. But people need to remember that words hurt people at the end of the day. And I nearly pinned that comment, but I thought, I don't want to lower myself down to their level, but I think they need educated, if anything.
Yeah, and I think, social media is such a dodgy place for that as well. Like, I think if you pinned that comment, people would have almost seen it as an invite to see, like, I'm going to go harder, like, rather than, because like that's the mentality. And I think the education of that isn't through like them, like they're not there to be educated, like in their heads, they're not sat there in the comments. But then it's up to like people like me, people like us, and that's why I want to do this, is to kind of speak to all different types of people with all different types of experiences. And I think rather than speaking to these people directly, whoever they may be, if anybody's kind of tuning in, they just get an opportunity to kind of sit back in a passive way and observe a different point of view and observe a conversation. So I think that's kind of how it works. Like, nobody likes being told anything, especially what you should think, what you should believe, how you should feel about something. Like, nobody ever wants that or enjoys that, but actually by kind of being part of a different narrative or observing a different narrative, it can potentially help. It's easy for me to say that though, because I'm like a 30-year-old or 30-odd-year-old white heterosexual. So like the patriarchy is like right here. Do you know what I mean? Like that's me. But like, at the same time, I'm very conscious of that, and it's that thing. Good question, actually, Stevie. I hadn't even considered this, but are you a gamer, Olivia? Because you talked about collecting and selling consoles. to play
Yeah.
the game.
Absolutely. Massive nerd. I started off with I think it was a Game Boy first, then it was a DS, then it was a PlayStation 2, then it was the Xbox 360, and I'm still on my Xbox One S. I've bought a gaming PC. I absolutely love it. I am a massive nerd.
Brixham perked up there. You got gaming PC as well.
I do, yes. It's currently sitting down there. That's what happens when you spend 1.2 grand on a on a PC. But I use it for everything, so it's not just gaming.
We're not your parents, Brixham. We're not your parents.
You don't have to justify it to us.
They know. It's fine. It's all right. But in fairness, it was my own money, so it's all okay. But yeah, it's I probably don't use it.
Conversation before.
I don't use it enough as I probably should, to be fair. But yeah, every now and then I'll whip out Minecraft and play 2 weeks or something here and there.
Mint. See, I'd wanted a gaming PC for as long as I remember, but my mum was always like, no. And I don't know if it's just a stereotypical, like, you're a female, like, why just go? Like, that's probably me being very sexist, and I'm so sorry about that. But, like, I grew up playing football. I'm basically one of the lads. So I absolutely loved it. And when I saw, I forget his name now, but he's stopped doing Minecraft on YouTube, but he's one of the big ones at the start. But I wanted a PC, and I got to adult money, and I'm like, oh my God, this is what a real paycheck looks like. So I drove all the way down to Durham to pick this PC up off a lad who like reconstructs them whilst he's at uni. Paid £320 for it. It's absolutely mint setup. And I paid £180 for my monitor, so it's nice and cheap. I don't think I could justify spending £1,000 like Brixham, but you do you, Belle. You do you.
Mate, my justifications are all over the place. I mean, look at my collection. I've been collecting since October, so it's kind of like, well, if I want something, I'll just go ahead and buy.
Just get it. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the point of
Life's
presents?
too short.
Exactly.
Well,
So what do you
speaking of
play?
presents, it is my birthday next week, so
Exactly. It's a big birthday, isn't it?
It is 21.
21.
Getting old, grey hairs already.
What are you talking about? It's my 21st in December. I can't go grey yet. Can't go grey.
Just go bald instead.
Just go bald.
Oh no, let's not.
I've
talk
got a little
about
bit of grey in the beard.
It is going, so we're going to pull that down and forget about that.
I'll be matching caps with you shortly, though. That's a bonus.
Oh, of course you won his giveaway, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was definitely not a fix, was it?
It wasn't. It wasn't. I did a video.
I saw the video. But yeah, what do you play, Olivia?
On my Xbox, I play in array of games. I'm typically like zombie apocalypse survival games, so like State of Decay, Dying Light. I can't wait until Dying Light 2 comes out. FIFA, I know you can give a stick already for it. I do love FIFA. I haven't bought the last FIFA because I've finally got it in my head that they're giving us 50 quid for a new game every single year.
That's a lot of money, I say, with Lego sets behind me.
I mean, you've got some Harry Potter sets that I don't even have, so that says everything, doesn't it?
I've had this set for ages, and I need to build it, but I just haven't got the time. So it's just sort of sitting there as a backdrop.
I don't even have the night bus either. I'm really slacking. I end up just buying the most expensive ones.
From a, because you're saying there like zombie apocalypse stuff. So from a movie perspective, are you a bit of a horror fan?
No, I'm an absolute chicken. I'll throw my hands in the air. Like, it is unbelievable. I won't watch any of the Insidious. I can just about manage The Purge. Like, it is so bad. It's so bad.
You watch The Walking Dead?
I love The Walking Dead, don't get us wrong. No spoilers, though. I'm just on season 6.
I'm sorry, hang on. No, wait. You're on season 6?
Yeah, I stopped watching it.
Right.
So I won't give any spoilers, but I stopped watching it after a certain scene. So I'm finally just catching back up and watching it again to.
That's right. I'm on season 8, so there's no spoilers for me.
I know, but someone else might have some spoilers.
I've never seen it.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it's actually one of my all-time series. Like, I want to create a mock on it shortly because I think that's what they're really missing in Lego.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, there's so much they're missing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but that's
like
one that I would
it's an obvious one.
take my money. Take my money.
Absolutely. Stevie asked me about this, and I'm like, he's a Geordie, I'm not. So, thoughts on Matty Longstaff?
He's not too bad. I've met him a couple of times.
I assume you're black and white.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I played for the academy for a couple of years when I was a kid. I am actually really decent at football, not to toot my own horn. But his brother, Sean, he's dead canny as well. I've not been keeping up watching football, but I saw the Man U versus Newcastle game and I lost a bit of faith in myself, but we scored at least, so that's a big bonus.
And it was one of his returns, so like, he's different class, and he's better
absolutely
now than when he left. But yeah, he's
crazy.
So film wise,
I want his wages.
Well, don't we all? I'd happily have a week of his wages. Like, that'll do me.
I'd have a day.
I assume from your collection, though, you're a Harry Potter fan.
Absolutely. I love it.
Is that your top franchise? Is that like your number one up there?
It's very, very hard to say. I am a massive Big Bang Theory and Friends. I love all that. But Harry Potter is up there, and I only watched it for the first time last year during lockdown. I finally sat down and watched it.
It's on every Sunday on ITV.
I don't watch TV. I'm an absolute book nerd and bookworm. So if I'm not uploading to Bricklink or if I'm not working, I'm reading.
Have you read Harry Potter then?
No, I've got first edition books sitting up there that are just sitting there that I found at car boots when I was eBay reselling, but I've not even read them all. I've read bits here and there. I've got like misprinted books, but I've never actually fully read them properly.
I've read one. Which one was it? Half-Blood Prince, and it's so much better. And I will go back and read them, but I struggle to read. I just get bored, and then kind of don't go back to things. But I think, one day have kids and read to them, or read it with them, or they can read it to me. That'd be nice.
There you go. Just get lazy and get them to read it to you.
I was going to suggest, because I know you're trying to get into Star Wars, but it's I feel like you've watched The Phantom Menace like 5 times based on like your TikToks and stuff.
Honestly,
every time you're like, I'm watching Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, it's still The Phantom Menace. So
I just don't ever have time, because me and my girlfriend have series that we want to watch together. And she's like, you can just go watch it. I was like, no, because I want to finish watching this with you.
Yeah.
But I finally finished that one. I'm on to the second one. I absolutely loved it. It's the jump that gets me a bit confused. So I've watched episode 1, which I believe is episode 4 in reality, because I've did it a bit backwards, if that makes sense. So the 4th movie that they've released is episode 1. Yeah. So I watched that one first. And then I'm on episode 2, and now he's just suddenly like 20 years old. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I've missed like a massive chunk of his life.
Yeah, I think is it Darth Walker will know. I think it's like 11 years is the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's nothing, and again, Darth Walker will know this. I don't know if there's anything. Oh, there is a small comic run that I know of where Anakin almost leaves the Jedi Order. I'm sure that's set in that time period. But there's not a lot where we have the Clone Wars series that's set heavily between episode 2 and episode 3. There's nothing like that in that period, kind of between the Phantom Menace. But yeah, it is a sizable jump for sure.
That's the thing. So when I've like asked people who are absolute geeks and nerds in this, they're like, you need to watch this episode, you need to then watch this miniseries, then this, then this, then this, then this. And I'm like, whoa, I've not got that many hours in the day. And like, I think it's one of them shows that if I put it on whilst I'm packaging videos, I'm going to miss something crucial.
Mhm.
Like, I turned away for 1 second and bloody, do you know what? You just can't have spoilers on here. But then Darth Maul's cut in half. And I'm like,
You missed the best bit.
what the hell happened?
Duel of the Fates happened. That's what happened.
See, I didn't even know there
It's
was
the
a specific
music, not
name for
make you
it.
look at the screen. Like the John Williams gave his everything for that score.
I've got absolutely zero doubt in that. But it got my last look. I was making sure I had the right number of parts. I don't want that negative feedback.
It's the best. Well, and I applaud that, But yeah, Brixton and I have talked about this because Brixton, you've only seen kind of the movies, haven't you? And the Mandalorian, you haven't gone into the other stuff, and you don't have to. It certainly helps, and I really enjoy it. But a lot of it is kind of like hard to get through, and you just have to persevere and get through it.
Yeah,
It certainly helps, but the idea is that you didn't, and it kind of helps fill a lot of blanks, kind of after they were made. But yeah, it's a bit of a slog. So, and there's a lot to get through. But yeah, I think it's one of them that you do have to kind of pay attention to a little bit too. Because I remember seeing Attack of the Clones, and the whole point is they're talking about, like, imagine watching it at the time, and they keep talking about like Jedi Master Sifo Dyas, and I'm like, all right, who's he then? Like we don't know him. He wasn't mentioned in The Phantom Menace. He's never been mentioned in the original trilogies. At the time, I didn't have any access to any comic books or anything like that. I don't even know if he was written into anything, but he's kind of like indirectly central to the plot of Attack of the Clones, certainly the birth of the clones. And I'm like, is Obi-Wan Kenobi's secret name Sifo Dyas? Like, I just
did I miss something here? Yeah.
Yeah. So it certainly helps now that there's so much kind of source material, but then it also helps that you've got kind of like social media, and TikTok's brilliant for that, to kind of fill in a lot of blanks and ask questions where you can. But yeah, you have to ask a lot of questions.
It's like, I must ask you loads of questions. I'm like, I end up buying this Bill Claw, and I'm like to you, what's his figure called? Like, Google Lenses isn't bringing him up. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. And you're like, oh, this is
good
enough
content though. You should just do that for your content. Like,
just
don't
tell us.
Yeah, no, but like because you think it'll flood the comments. Because that's what I was going to talk about when we're saying about everything is awesome, and that being like a bit of a controversial one. But I know as you were building up your Star Wars knowledge, you did a couple of videos as well where you were like,
I mispronounced so many things.
Yeah, like mispronounced, or you're like, like
God.
R2, and all of us are like, yeah, that's R2, and you're like, yeah, this astromech, and everybody's like, it's R2D2. Like,
I'm like, oh no.
R2 is.
It's like, what did I call it? Tatooine? I call it Tatooine.
That was
Tatooine.
Tatooine, yeah.
Yeah.
And people are trying to explain that it's Tatooine in the comments, and you're like, you're spelling it as I'm reading it. Like, you're not spelling it any different.
Phonetically.
But it is good for content though. Like, I used to, and I haven't done this in ages, but I used to put obvious mistakes in, like R2's head can lift off and you can put it backwards. And I used to just do that in all my videos. And there was one person who used to comment and be like, oh my God, R2's head's backwards. And I'm like, he's not. Like, he's like, it's not. And he's like, oh, it is. Do
you know, I did that with the lightsaber hilts. I put them upside down. Yeah. And then you'd comment, and everyone else would comment, and be like, it's upside down, what are you doing? Flip it back around again. I'm like, it's fine.
It's you know, sometimes I feel bad for stuff like that, because I totally see like someone do that, and I know what they're doing, especially when it's an earfall. Like, an earfall knows. So I try and kind of like stoke the fire a little bit to kind of get that conversation going. But then people see me commenting and they're being like, we're going to jump on the bandwagon, but in a very different tone. And I'm like, chill out, will you? Like, it's clearly a joke. Brick and Maddie, we all know and love, she did something where she got a couple of clones in, and she had Commander Fox, and she called him and I've got this Captain Rex, and everybody was just like, you what now? Like, that's not Captain Rex. And it just went absolutely mental. But she was just like, yeah, you get that.
Just soak it in.
Joke, right? Yeah. It's brutal. But what was kind of like the bigger one? Was it the everything is awesome, or was it the kind of getting things wrong Star Wars Lego wise?
What do you mean? What, like, hit the most? Or
Yeah, like what kind of like triggered people more?
I've got to say it's the Everyone is Awesome one. It had to be. I'd honestly, like, so TikTok will happily take everything down so quick, but when there's genuinely things that it should actually take down, it doesn't. Like, it took some down where some people called us like I'm not going to say it, but like the F word and things like that, and all the rest. And I'm not bothered. I've had it all out in the street before. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's like casual at this point. And I'm like, it's the 21st century, people. Just, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Legos. Yeah, it is Legos though.
Not here. If
No,
you
it's
two
not.
will have it out, go
No,
elsewhere.
no. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. It's Lego
It was
all
the
capital
greatest
letters.
series ever. That,
Excuse me.
but,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rowlo. I joke. I kid.
Yeah, it's but no, I definitely think like the hilts are a good one, and it's a good way to kind of get it just a bit of engagement. Sometimes you just got to stoke the fire. When TikTok's not helping you, just crack on. Oh, there he's back again. All capitals, yes. He's I do you know what? I will absolutely give him credit for this one, because he was right. I mean, does it matter? Like, he will be sitting there screaming at the TV now saying, yes, it does matter. I'm like, well, it's not Legos, it's Lego, but like, fair enough, I'll do that one. But like, putting it all in capitals, I'm like, I can't really be bothered. But do you know what? People do it. Like, he was going through everybody's profile, doing like green screens, and he was like, "No, you've spelled it wrong, or you've got it right," and everybody changed it, and you see
I've
people.
never typed something so quick when he was on your Opie-verse. I was like, I got to change everything. Like, it was so quick. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, hilarious. Well, there you go. This is not yours though, Rollo. This is Olivia's session, so not you done. Less about you, the better. But yeah, it's that made me laugh. Just like, almost like kind of the whole everything is awesome, that homophobia side of it was almost kind of like Lego Star Wars was kind of almost on the same level of triggering. You're like, come on, people. Like, what? It's 2021. Like, and I get that the current environment, everybody's a bit hostile and all that, but it's no excuse by any means. But yeah. But Olivia, what does the future hold for you? Because I did ask you, but you were a bit like, but like, from a goals perspective, not like what is your next goals and milestones, but when you think about TikTok and your Instagram and Bricklink, like, where would you love to be, and what would you like to be at? See it by the end of this year.
By the end of this year, so I want to try and hit 1,000 followers on my TikTok.
Okay.
I do really want to press for that. I'd absolutely love to go live. Like, I can't wait to just sit and just chat. I've been told sometimes to make a YouTube and just do all things Bricklink on there and just showcase how to run a store and things like that, like little tips and tricks. Or I've had some people asking us to do like deals and where to get good deals and things like that from. It's like Marvel CMS, if I've got any Marvel fans in here. WH Smiths do cheaper big boxes of them, and they've got £10 cash back as well at the moment, so get on that deal. I've ordered 3 boxes.
Online as well?
Online, yeah, all online. You can only do it online. You can't do it in person.
Nice. I didn't even know WH Smiths did that.
Yeah, they sell the big boxes. Costco sometimes get the big boxes in. They got the Looney Tune boxes in, and it worked out as £2.25 a figure. So it worked out quite all right. For my Instagram, I've got some plans in the works just to do some like photography side of things. So just because I've got, like I said, I collected CMFs as a kid. Like, I've got some really cool CMFs that I just want to put in different environments. And if that is like boosting my stock and just getting a Star Wars figure and sticking them on the beach, you know what I mean? And just saying it's Tatooine, albeit, and just be like, that's in my Bricklink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
free sand.
Just sand.
Just
Sand,
do an Anakin figure with like a little poly bag of sand from Whitley Bay Beach or something.
Absolutely. Just track me way down, I'll be all right. But yeah, I want to grow. I was talking to Raven about this when them Aldi ones came back in stock and you shared that. I have never went round the whole of Aldi's in Northumberland as quick in my life. I got
It was
10 of them.
little. You know, it was little,
Oh,
right?
Lidl, sorry, yeah,
I
not
was going to
Aldi.
say, I thought you were going to say I went around
No,
Aldi
sorry.
and couldn't find any, and I was like,
No,
it was
sorry,
Lidl.
my bad, Lidl.
Yeah.
I always get the two mixed up. It's because I've got an Aldi right by me, that's why. But yeah, so I went around all the Lidls. I've got 10 of them now, but I just don't have the space. It's crazy.
I've
It is
seen
really, really
Epic
crazy.
Bricks' wall now because he's in his garage and he's like fitted them all to the wall.
Yeah.
And they look brilliant, but this guy has endless amounts of them. But you got some as well, Brixton, didn't you?
I did. On Friday after work, I went to Lidl, the next town over, like 20 minutes away, and they only had one. So I picked it up, and I was like, right, okay, that's fine. And then my dad, who was driving me, he was like, well, there's another Lidl only about 10 minutes away. Do you want to go check that one as well? So
There's
we went.
always a little 10 minutes away.
I know. And we had got shopping in the first Lidl, so it was like frozen stuff was in the car, and we were like, let's just pop over there and, hopefully it won't melt. Went over there, went down the aisle that had all that sort of stuff in, and there wasn't any. And I was like, oh God, you got to be kidding me, we've just driven all the way here. And then I walked around the other aisle just to sort of have a little bit of a check, just to sort of say, well, at least we looked. And there were 4 of them. And I was like, yes, finally. And my dad goes to me, so how many do you want to get? And I was like, oh, we're getting all 4. So we grabbed all 4 of them, now in total 5, and went and paid for them. And I was like, oh, finally. And today, I've spent so long, like the whole afternoon, I was speaking to Olivia as well, sorting my bricks out. And it's just such a long process. But yeah, sorry, Darth Walker, I probably stole them from you. Sorry, mate. But yeah, it's such a long process to sort, but I'm getting there. So but yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, I never go to Lidl, and I went in for something, and I just love, whenever I do go to Lidl, you have to go down the middle aisle.
Special buys. Yeah, special buys all the way.
And I was stood looking at it, and I was like, because like you never know whether the price is the one at the top or the one at the bottom, and you're like, And I was like, that's $8.99. They're like 30, 40 quid on Amazon, them things.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Because Reese, the orange ones that Reese had, he would always see it like, and he would see it like, if you wait, sometimes they'll go down to like 28, and when the 28 jump on it, and then they will quickly go back up. But when I saw it, I was like, geez. But obviously that's what they do, isn't it? Get them in, get you in, and then start parting them out. But yeah, we definitely, on that point, Olivia, I've been saying it a while, but we need to get you 1,000, because like I think having you on live would be pretty cool. Gives you an opportunity to interact with other people as well.
Absolutely.
Through and guests and all that. It's a great, like, it's getting 1,000 is always the biggest slog. Then when you hit 1,000, it's so much easier to continue to grow, because you can just engage in different ways.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, just because I know you've got a pretty cool collection, but I don't think we see enough of it. So like, don't think you have to focus on the Bricklink side. Like, really bring your own, especially if you've got like some old CMFs. Like, you'll have stuff that a lot of people, like, CMFs are very relevant, and you'll have stuff that you can show and be like, actually, did you know this is from series whatever, and this is how this is the range. Like, stuff like that just really sets you apart, in a world where we have a lot of almost kind of newcomers, or people who've come back and didn't have their old collection and don't have the old stuff to kind of continue to show, and stuff like the old CMFs will be that. So I would definitely encourage you to do that, and you'll see yourself go pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought of like doing like a Q&A hour, because I put Q&As on my page now, and I thought of just releasing a video at 7:00 every night, just do a different Q&A until I run out of questions practically. Then I'll think of something else to fill that time slot. Gosh.
Absolutely. Well, Brixton and I, as well as everybody in the chat and everybody who knows you and loves you, will continue, I'm sure, to support you in your growth and ambitions.
Good. Thank you so much for that, by the way.
Yeah, no bother. Brixton, I'm going to come to you. I've been talking on social media and stuff about we've got some big news tonight, something that's going to kind of change the face of all this. It's your announcement. So would you like to
Okay.
make your announcement?
So to all 11 people that are currently watching the stream, I've had a discussion with Liam, and I will be leaving the Opie-verse after today. This is something I've been thinking about for a couple weeks now. It's nothing to do with Liam. Liam's been great. The guests have been great. Nobody sort of bullied me into leaving. But in regards to sort of my future and my goals and aspirations, I want to move forward to other things, other projects, other ventures. Sorry, Raven, I see you going berserk there in the chat. But yeah, so after today, I will no longer be on the Opie-verse. I'll be doing other ventures elsewhere. But I want to say thank you to Liam for the last 6 weeks. It's been absolutely amazing. I've enjoyed every second of it. It's been great. I will still see you guys on TikTok and Instagram and that, so I'm not disappearing completely. And I will be in the chat and that for the Opie-verse, but I just won't be on it.
Thanks, man. Before I kind of go into it, there are some words that others would like to share. So I'll let them kind of say their piece first.
Remember the first Opie-verse stream? That was the dream team. Opie-1, Brixton, Roller 32. What are you going to do? That's something you can't see through. These three, take two. You can't do it without what Brixton do. Good luck with something new. All the best from Roller 32.
Hey Brixton, I hear you're leaving the Opie-verse, man, which is gutting because I had such an awesome time on it with you. But I know that you're going to go and do some awesome things, and yeah, you're just going to smash it, man. So good luck, and I will definitely see you around.
Hey Bricky Brixton, it's me and your Uncle Watto here. We just want to say thank you for everything you've done on the Opie-verse, and especially for when the episode where we were on. You helped run everything smoothly, you kept us talking, you made sure we weren't over talking. So just want to say thank you, and I'm sure Opie and everyone else who has been featured will say the exact same thing. Thank you for your time, thank you for your effort, thank you for your energy, and thank you for keeping things running. So good luck with your own content. Can't wait to see it, especially Watto. He's a diva for a bit of modular builds. So yeah, see you in a
Brixton, it has been an absolute pleasure to share the screen with you for these past few weeks, and the Opie-verse would not be where it is without you. You've given great foundations for the future, and we wish you all the best of luck in your own journey, which we will follow closely. And one day soon, we will have you back on as a guest. But there's always a seat at the table for Brixton. Peace.
Wow, thank you, making me cry.
Did you enjoy that, mate? It was
yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, guys, for all your lovely words. You're all amazing.
I don't know if you can tell, but in your top corner, I made you a little thing, and I'll send you this, but I made your own logo of the Brixton-verse podcast. So
which is not happening, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. I'm not starting my own podcast.
No, but I'm just saying, like, right now, like, that's kind of like this moment here. This is your moment, and this is your podcast. So no, seriously, mate, it's you and I talked about this. Even if if nothing else, our conversations long before, well, back in May, June, when we first started kind of talking about it, those conversations motivated me to kind of launch this and kind of take it further. So if nothing else, you gave me that, but beyond that, you've contributed so much. You and I talk so regularly, which we will continue to do. As you see, this is not out of anything other than just you need to kind of dedicate your time to your own content, which I fully support and understand. So we'll still talk a lot, and you can be a bit more objective as well, I'm sure, with all of that. And but yeah, it's you've given so much. You've kind of got us to where we are. You'll certainly be missed. It'll be weird kind of for the first couple of weeks without you. I don't really know how Raven's saying there, will there be a new producer? Like who can who could fill your boots? I don't know if anybody could. I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to rush into it because it's a bit like, it's a bit like breaking up with someone. Like I need time to grieve. I need time to heal.
You need to get back on Tinder, start swiping for new producers.
Yeah, I'm not here looking for a relationship. I just need a good co-host who can function some buttons. But seriously, it's we are here as much because of you than it is because of me. And even Henry on there, Henry was such a great guest, and it was you that kind of synced us up. So that I've not kind of linked in with Henry before then, and you kind of made that happen. So thank you, man, and best of luck. And as I say, it's not goodbye by any means. We'll still probably talk on the daily as we do anyway. But Olivia, anything to add? Because I know you and Brixton talk a lot as well.
No, honestly, it'll be an absolute miss. I love watching it, even when I'm on like working a night shift. Like I come back in the morning, sit through and watch it all. Honestly, it will be a great miss. But best of luck, and I talk to you practically every day anyway, so we'll definitely keep in contact.
Yeah,
it does feel like a breakup. Jesus Christ!
You're spamming me on Instagram all the time. Stop it.
But yeah, it's a new chapter. It's weird. Like, as I say, we're on episode 7, but it feels like we've been doing it for a lot longer. Who knows? Like, I've got 2 weeks in Ibiza that I hit 2 Sundays on there. Like, do I stream from? Well, I'll not be doing the first week because it's my last night on a stag do. So, like, God knows what that Opie-verse will be like. The next one, the missus is flying out, and I may have to take a couple of weeks gap. I can pre-record some stuff. Who knows? We'll worry about that. But yeah, man, I'll just it's going to take me a few weeks. And if we bring someone in, the co-host, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't, because it just won't be the same. But is there anything particularly you're looking to go off and do, or is it just to kind of double down and kind of focus on you, or focus on your content, or even not your content, but focus on you away from all of this?
So there's nothing sort of that sticks out into my mind, but there's definitely a few things that I'm looking to consider, especially on social media, as well as my own personal life. So as you know, the past few weeks we've been discussing me moving out and sort of venturing into my own sort of life. And so, it's starting to get a new chapter for me as a person, not only just as it's Brixton, but as my own person. No, I'm still not giving you a name reveal. But yeah,
I'd still call you Brixton anyway.
Yeah, that's fine by me. But yeah, it's been fun. It has been, and I would love to stick around for longer, but in best interest for myself and probably for the Opie-verse, I'm going to move off into the sunset and see what else is out there.
That'll be awesome. And I will, of course, update through this as I kind of learn what you're doing, if there's anything particular that's worth kind of sharing with people. But as I kind of said in that video stream there, as you kind of find your feet with all of that, it'd be great to have you back on and to talk about that kind of journey from here to that point and go from there. But I don't really know what more we can say. Oh, I know what we can say for one last time. I don't think he's here, but Kaelin always asks for you to do your plugs. So I think we need to do one last time.
Okay.
One last time.
I need to remind myself of what plugs we have at the moment. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think they need updating.
Let's get rid of that one because that's no longer valid. Okay, guys. So we have a couple plugs today, and they're all Liam's. So if you guys are looking to get a cap like this, and like the one behind Liam there, and I believe on his head, I can't quite tell, he's got it backwards.
No, not the one on my head.
Oh, no, not that. No, don't do that. No, leave it like that, thanks. Head over to Essential Caps UK, in which case you can get 15% off a cap like this if you use code OPIE-VERSE. I have been working with Essential Caps UK to bring giveaways as well, so be sure to follow me down on my Instagram. Olivia won the most recent one, and I'm sure I'll do one in the future as well. So if you guys are looking to get a cap, an awesome cap like this, or just a normal hat for winter time, as winter is coming.
My bad, Brixton. My code is now 35% off.
35%
So-
off. There we
And
go.
it's just OP. But there you go. My bad.
That one down there.
Yeah.
You can also get 5% off discount for new users for Wicked Bridge. So if you want a display case or display stand for some awesome Lego sets, you can get those as well. Yeah.
Well done, mate. Thank you. It was an honor to have you. Do you know what? I feel like I want to record them or save them as a clip. and
No,
just drop
let's
them
not.
in.
Let's not do that one.
What I will add as well, because you have kind of ended your affiliation with Game of Bricks, right? So I have an affiliation with another light company who I used for the Darth Vader and the Scout Trooper helmet, Light Go. I won't go into it now, but in the future I'll kind of share that as well, kind of going forward. So if you guys are looking for Lego lighting kits, we can still support you with, oh, look at this, he stitched me right up. I can still, we as a show can still support you with 20% off and free delivery on your Lego light kits. So there you go. But guys, I don't know about you, but that has been fun. Olivia, I told you the time flies.
It does. It really does.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. It won't be the last time I have you on. And I do like when you talk about life goals, and like my goal for this is to do at least one where I'm sat in the same room as the person and do an actual thing. You're an obvious choice with that. But I don't know how we do that. Like, do you want to like
We'll figure a way?
Yeah, like it's a bit. I think the whole setup has to be totally different as well. But you're an option. You're an option for sure.
I mean, how many people would be buzzing just to have all them Star Wars sets behind us? I'd be like, oh, what's this? And just pick up like the Sandcrawler and be like, what's this?
No, you're not allowed to touch a Sandcrawler. I've changed my mind. We're not doing it. I'll come to your place. That's not happening. We'll do it in the pub. We'll do it. We'll just sit in the Sunday night. Yeah, we'll get pissed. But no, it's everyone. As always, thank you everyone for who's kind of watched and supported and chatted away through the evening. I always enjoy watching watching the chat and watching you all interact with each other. We absolutely love you, and it's not just thank you for supporting me, but thank you for supporting Brixton over the last few weeks. That both Brixton and Olivia's and my links are all in our bio if you're not following us already. And there, Raven, there you go for Olivia. We check out her Instagram, check out her TikTok. Let's get her 1,000. But of course, do check out her Bricklink store. And the reason you want to at least be aware of it and know what it is because there might be some clones coming to that Bricklink store too. Because if you didn't know, I'm selling all my clones. And yes, that includes Phase 2 Rex. So yeah, she's worth knowing for that. But anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure. Good evening, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. You know where we are. Episode 8 is already set up. I am not going to kind of tell you who it is because although we've confirmed, we haven't absolutely locked them in. So until that's done, but you'll see it in the Discord, you will see it on Instagram, and you may see it on TikTok as well. But it is a good one, and I'm very confident that they'll be a part of it. So other than that, see you goodbye, everybody. Give us a wave.
Bye.
See you all later.